I've got some potato salad here. You guys ready to go over to Quartermaine's and pay our respects?
Well, as soon as my casserole gets done, it won't take long.
Okay.
This is outrageous. This isn't a bill, it's the national debt. Do you know how much those crooks want to charge us for fixing that air conditioner?
Probably more than we can afford to pay.
We can't afford to pay the bills we have, let alone this monster.
All right. So why don't you rent out the apartment that Kevin and I had? I can't face it again. Might as well start looking for a new tenant.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll put up a note in the General Hospital bulletin board.
Okay.
What do you think, co-landlord?
I agree with Terry. Besides, we need the money.
All right. You hit the General Hospital bulletin board tomorrow. I'll put an ad in the paper. Surely there's somebody here in Port Charles who's willing to live in this zoo. This for the Quartermaine?
Yeah, I'm going to bring it over. These guys.
Jake, how's Monica holding up?
She's very upset. She still hasn't gotten over the shock.
But there's still a chance that Alan survived the crash, isn't there?
Well, Frisco and Felicia went up to that summer camp where the Quartermaine boys are. Monica was supposed to go up there, but she just couldn't face them, so they volunteered.
I know how she must feel.
Well, sooner or later, she's going to have to tell them about their father, but right now, her grief's about all she can deal with.
I would imagine a lot of it's guilt. She and Alan have been having some pretty awful arguments lately.
So no sign of Alan's body?
Well, if we don't find out soon, we'll just have to call up the search.
No, I want to keep looking until we find some proof that he's dead.
Well, what have you got so far? I mean, the plane couldn't have just vanished into thin air. You must have found some pieces of it.
There's no reason to keep this quiet anymore. It's going to turn up in the FAA report. That is that there was a chemical substance found in the fuel line.
Make certain that my company receives a complete report of the investigation.
Yes, Mr. Walker, under the circumstances, you are entitled to it.
How did a chemical substance get in the fuel line?
Well, it appears that someone put it in there knowing that it would cause engine failure.
Wait, I don't know why I'm so surprised. It makes more sense to me now.
What makes sense?
Alan told me that Monica gave him a check for his birthday.
So, there's no crime in that.
The check was to pay for flying lessons.
So Alan's flying was Monica's idea?
I don't know whose idea it was, but I do know that Monica paid for Alan's lessons. It seemed strange to me at the time, considering they were at each other's throats.
Anna, what more proof do you need? The woman threatens to kill my brother several times. She buys him flying lessons. He dies in a plane crash. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to figure out who to point the finger at.
All right, I just don't want anyone jumping to conclusions.
Jumping? You look to me like you need to be pushed, lady.
I'm going to keep you informed about the progress of this investigation, and that is all. If you'll excuse me now, gentlemen, I'm going to pay the Quartermaine a visit. See you, Violet. Will you get someone out of my office, please, Dad?
Alan's alive?
Just as alive as you or I.
But how? I mean, where? I mean, why?
Now look, before I tell you the whole story, you've got to promise to keep this in the strictest confidence. I mean it, Tiffany. I am trusting you not to breathe a word of this to another living soul.
No promises until I hear everything, in detail. I want to know what you dreamed up this time. It certainly sounds like one for the books.
Have you ever heard of a man named Sean Donnelly?
Didn't he used to work for the WSB? It seems like Robert mentioned his name.
Yeah, that's the guy. Well, he is now applying his dubious skills as an agent to the world of business. As a matter of fact, he is the one who scammed my family out of its fortune.
Sounds like a man after my own heart.
I mean it, damn it. He's nothing but a common thief.
Well, if he swindled the Quartermaines out of millions, he's anything but common, Edward.
Common and rich and Monica's lover.
Oh, the plot thickens.
They've been having an affair for a long time. As a matter of fact, Monica was in the process of getting a divorce from him about the time Alan met his demise.
So Alan set this whole thing up?
And handled it brilliantly.
But why does he want everyone to think he's dead?
He wants them to think that he was murdered by Sean Donnelly. Just before Alan crashed, he took out a very expensive insurance policy and he made Monica the beneficiary. Now, the plan is this. As soon as Donnelly is accused of murder, then I will then go to him and strike up some kind of a deal to get our money back. In exchange, Alan will come back from the dead and try to set him free from prison.
And how is Alan supposed to explain his absence?
Amnesia. What do you think?
That one of us is crazy.
Like a fox.
Edward, how am I supposed to fit into this bizarre little plan of yours?
Tiffany, you are my ace up the sleeve. If Alan's scheme fails, you are my contingency plan.
Well, how can I possibly help you?
You are the only woman I know who could drive a wedge in between Donnelly and Monica.
Ah, divide and conquer.
Exactly. Now, will you lend your considerable talents to me?
That depends.
On?
On what Sean Donnelly looks like, among other things.
I think you'll probably find him attractive, but that's not the issue at the moment.
Well, I want to enjoy my work.
Enjoy getting rich.
How rich?
I'm prepared to give you 10% of all the money we recoup. That's certainly generous, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Well, then you agree?
Just not generous enough.
What do you want, Tiffany? Blood?
No, I want my TV station. I have a career to think about, Edward. Do you think that possibly you could convince Derek Barrington to sell it back to me?
Well, as a matter of fact, that TV station has been on the market.
Really? Are there any offers?
Not large enough. Let me talk to Derek and see what I can work out. If I can work out something, will you help me? Hey, that's crystal.
Oh!
And it's expensive.
Relax, darling. I will buy you an entire warehouse filled with crystal when we get Sean Donnelly. Now, I want you to tell me everything that has been going on in Port Charles since I've been gone. Who's doing what to whom?
Oh, good Lord. I don't know where to begin. Well, to start with, your old pal Scorpio went back to Australia with his wife, Holly. Yeah, that's good riddance, I'd say.
Careful, darling. You're talking about my friends.
Let's see what else. Yes, Bobby Spencer. She's engaged to Jake Meyer. Myers, also Monica's attorney. Well, at least he was. And, well, now that Alan's passed on, well, she isn't going to need Jake anymore. I mean, you can hardly divorce a dead man, right?
I remember Jake. Very attractive guy. What on earth is he doing with Bobby Spencer?